and we're going to do our progressive marches to begin. So progressive marches, again, have your hand near that chair in case you need it. We're going to just gently bring that leg up a tiny bit. Again, nothing too crazy. This is just to feel the center of gravity change in between your legs, going side to side, just to see how we're feeling today. Okay, just with progressive marches, again, progressive, so we're going to increase the height just a tiny bit now. Again, we're trying to move about the same speed throughout this. That's kind of the key with this. You know, the more you come up, the quicker you might want to come down, but I'm going to challenge you to try to go the same consistent speed. Think about it of like a 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, whatever your own cadences you're going for yourself. Okay, we're going to finish now with a slight pause at the top. So however high you can go, where you're able to pause it for a second before coming back down, that's what we're going to try to go towards. So if that's only a little bit off the ground before you come back down, that's okay. Come up as high as you comfortably can, as high as you comfortably can, and then slowly lower yourself down, up, down. 10 more seconds here. Maybe see if you can hold a 1 Mississippi at the top, wherever you're at, and relax. Okay, very nice, very nice. So what we're going to do next, we're going to still do some marches, but we're actually going to close our eyes, and we're going to do similar progressive march. You can watch me first. Notice my hands near the chair, and when we have our eyes closed, we're just going to do some shifts side to side. So I'm actually just doing heel shifts. And this usually is pretty easy with our eyes open, but with the eyes closed, it makes it a lot more tougher. So go ahead and join me whenever. I'm going to start with some heel shifts, side to side with those eyes closed. See how you feel on your feet. Again, if you need to kind of flutter your eyelids open, if this is already a little tricky, that's okay. You can kind of open, close, that'll be a challenge too. 10 more seconds with this side to side reach. Very good. All right, go ahead and open your eyes. This next one, we're going to increase the height a tiny bit. So just like those progressive marches, now I'm going to challenge you to actually bring your foot off the ground with your eyes closed. So just a very tiny bit. Basically, you're just trying to feel how it is for you to come off the ground without those eyes open. So very tiny bit. Have your hand basically fluttering on that chair. You might even just want to touch it the whole time, as this is pretty challenging and not something we often do in our daily lives. Good. Okay, go ahead and rest. We're going to do one more eyes closed variation. If that was tough for you, we're just going to do 15 more seconds of that. If that was easy for you, we're going to try to match what we did earlier, okay? So I'm going to show you again. When I was doing the progressive marches, I was holding right here for a second and coming back down. Now I'm going to try to do the same thing that I was doing earlier, but with my eyes closed. Again, this is all relative. If the last version was too hard for you, just stick with that one. Whatever variation we're at, 15 seconds, go ahead and close your eyes. This will be it for the eyes closed hold today. Give yourself a little bit of a challenge. See how well you can do here. Five more seconds. Good. All right, everyone, go ahead and relax. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, so the next part of this, we're going to do a little bit of agility, which is quickness. I like doing these because they help us to improve our overall ability to catch ourselves from falling. So one of my favorite exercises we're about to do is called balance catches. We're going to go forward for our starting one. So with your right leg, we're going to lean forward, and you're going to feel the center of gravity shift into your toes. And then right before you feel like you might actually fall, you're going to put that foot forward and catch yourself, okay? So you might need to kind of place your chair a little bit in front of you, so it gives you a little assistance. So if you watch me again, leaning, and I'm putting that foot out really fast to catch myself. So this is very functional to how you would actually want to catch yourself when you are falling, just in a little bit of a more controlled manner. So feel all the weight shift into your toes. Throw that right foot out there to catch yourself. And it doesn't have to be a big fall. right? We're literally just training our body to get used to that idea of being a little uncomfortable, challenging our senses so we can move our leg to catch. Reach, catch. Good. Let's do one more repetition wherever we're at. So lean and catch. And then we'll repeat on the other direction. Same exact thing, just working that other leg, making sure we have equal balance here. Lean and catch. If you want more of a challenge too, you can actually come up onto your toes before leaning forward. That's going to increase the overall center of gravity change onto your toes very, very rapidly. But again, this is all relative. This is all relative. We just want to feel our body going forward before we catch ourselves. Let's do one more repetition wherever we're at. Lean forward and catch. All right, very nice. So we'll go ahead and move back to our chair. We're going to do one more balance catch variation. This one's going to be to our side. It's going to be a little bit more challenging, I will say that. This one though, so basically what you're going to do is I'm right now leaning towards this direction, and I'm going to be catching myself with the leg I'm leaning into. So it's really, really going to challenge yourself because there's going to be a lot of pressure in it, and then you're going to have to move and catch, okay? So basically lean towards one side, and then you're going to catch yourself with that same side. And you'll see what I mean when you try it. You're going to have to move a lot quicker. So lean, catch. Lean, catch. Good. Lean and catch. Lean and catch. And remember these two, the further you lean, the more drastic you are going to the side before you actually move your foot, the harder it's going to be. So you can kind of make it a little easier, a little bit tougher on yourself. Good. Let's finish one more repetition on that side. Very nice. I'm seeing everyone move really quick. That's the idea. We're trying to practice that quickness. All right, same thing, other direction. We did about 7 to 8 repetitions on that one leg, and we're going to repeat on the other side. Same concept. About 7 to 8 leans and catch. Lean, catch. The further you lean, the tougher this will be. We're really working that quickness. Good. Let's finish one more repetition wherever we're at. Very nice, very nice. Excellent work, everyone. So it's all relative, right? You know, if you can only lean a little bit and move a tiny bit, that's okay. You're all at your different level. It's all useful. Okay, we're going to go back to marches. So next one's going to be imaginary hurdle march, where you're going to basically have like a small step or fence behind you in your imagination, and we're going to step up and over that hurdle behind you, and then step back up and over. So changing that center of gravity pretty quickly. This is going to work your hip mobility as well. And of course, the higher your imaginary hurdle is for yourself, the tougher this is going to be. So you can really make that hurdle like a giant fence post like you're out in the country, or you can even just have it like you're stepping over a blade of grass. Kind of your own relative level. Just know the higher that hurdle is, the better this is going to work it. Back and forth here. Good. Okay, so we're going to do the same exercise, but we're going to make it a little bit more challenging on your hip mobility. So that time, I allowed you guys to actually open your hips. This time, I'm not going to allow you to turn. So it might not be as big of a hurdle, but basically how it'll look is you're going to go up and over, but notice I'm still looking forward, okay? So it's just going to work your hip mobility a little bit more. Same exact thing, but I'm looking straight ahead. Looking straight ahead. It'll challenge your balance kind of in a different way. It might be actually a little bit easier on your balance, but you'll notice this in your hips quite a bit more. Good. Still try to get that hurdle up and over as high as you can, but remember, we're thinking about gazing straight forward. Gazing straight forward. Good. Let's go ahead and repeat on the other side. Again, keep that gaze forward. Another way to think about it is shoulders facing the same direction the entire time. Still going up and over that hurdle. Good. Back and forth. Let's finish one more repetition on that side. Good. And relax. Good. Okay, we're going to do one more marching variation in a sec, but we'll allow our bodies to cool down with kind of an easier balance drill. Go ahead and bring both of your feet together. And what we're going to do is our balance leans, is what I call them. So all we're going to do is shift all of our weight towards one side. And when we do this, I want you, and I challenge you to try to get most of your weight into one of your feet. So you want to feel about 70% of the weight in your body in the side that you're leaning to. Really, really challenge your overall stability. This is a good progression into doing single leg holds. Let's go ahead and pivot over to the other side. Same thing here. Try to keep both of those feet together as much as you can. And then try to shift most of your weight into that single leg. That's where this really, really works your overall single leg stability and strength. Holding for a second. Go ahead and reassess at the top. We're going forward now. So this time when you lean forward, I challenge you to put most of your weight in the balls of your feet. This is going to be really, really tough. If you need to, you can move that chair kind of closer in front of you. That's going to make it a little bit easier. And we're holding. This is kind of similar to our balance shifts. 5 more seconds. Really good work if you're challenging. Go ahead and sit up. Very nice. Last one is going back. Don't go back quite as far. This one is probably the toughest of them all. Maybe just lean back. You can look up towards the sky a little bit. Again, now we're just feeling most of the weight in our heels. It's all relative though. Even if you just shift back a tiny bit, that's okay. 10 strong seconds on the side. 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Okay, we're going to finish today with one of my favorite balance, strength, coordination exercises. It's going to be a march leading into a lunge. So normally when I do this, we'll do a march and go backwards. Today we're actually going to go to the side, okay? So go ahead and pick either leg. It doesn't matter. Probably the leg that's not closest to the chair will be our working one first. So what we're going to do is bring one leg up. Then we are going to bring it to the side. Now the leg closest to the chair, we're going to do a tiny bend, okay? So I have my hands forward. That helps with balance. Tiny bend in that leg. And then I'm coming up, side, tiny bend. Tiny bend in that leg. Yeah, you got it. So up, side, tiny bend in the leg closest to the chair. Up, side, tiny bit of bend. Up, side, tiny bit of bend. Good. Let's do one more. Up, reach, tiny bit of bend. Okay, good. Go ahead and switch directions. So you should have just been working one leg. If you did do alternating legs, just do alternating legs again. Doesn't really matter. Otherwise, if you were just doing one leg, flip to the other leg. Same exact concept. So now we're going to be going, up to the side, slowly lower, move a little bit, up, to the side, and then again, slowly lower. The leg that's to the side, that's going to be straight. The other leg is the one that's bending a little bit, okay? So the leg that's coming up initially is not the leg that will be bending, if that makes sense. So just follow my lead the best you can. Up, side, slowly over. It's like most people got it. Up, side, slowly over. One more time. Up, side, slowly over. Very nice. All right, let's go ahead and we'll move behind our chair just for a little extra assistance in case you need it. We're going to do some calf raises with our feet together. So toes are going to be all the way touching. And then we're going to try our best to come up onto our toes and then slowly come back down. So just a nice, slow, and controlled set of calf raises, strengthening those muscles in our ankles, which help us tremendously when we are trying to catch and hold ourselves from a fall or just work our balance altogether. Need good ankle strength and stability. Up, down, up, and down. Very nice. Okay, so the next one we're going to do another ankle strengthening one. We're actually going to keep our feet together. And what you're going to do, though, is kind of move your feet to the outside. So basically, you're going to shift all of the weight to the outside of your feet. You can really exaggerate it. And then what we're going to do when we're either behind our chair on the side, doesn't really matter. We're going to do a very slow and controlled march. So just trying to come up onto one side for a second. This is really challenging on your overall ankle strength, especially if you really try to push yourself to the side. But it is also challenging your balance quite as well because we're taking off a lot of that base of our ankle. So side to side here. Nice and controlled. Good. 5 more seconds. Good. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Last drill for the day. We're going to do some toe raises. This is great for strengthening the front of our ankle muscles, which help to keep our knees nice and healthy. Also, very tough on your balance. So we're actually just coming back on our heels for this one. This one's very, very challenging. So just come up, bring those toes up, slowly down, up, slowly down. Really trying to maintain a hold for just a second before coming all the way back down. 5 more seconds. Up, down, up, down. Let's do one more all together. Up and down. Very nice, very nice. Okay, we're going to move into a split stance, do a little bit of a stretching cool down. One foot's going to be way far in front of the other. Front knee is going to be bent a very tiny bit. Your back heel will be planted in the ground. With that back heel in the ground, we are going to gently push our front knee forward, trying to keep a good chest up, and you should feel a nice stretch on the back of your calf here. Good. And make sure that back toe is planted, pointed forward too. That's another point. The more pointed forward it is, the better stretch you'll get. Go ahead and come off that side. We'll repeat on the other direction. We're bending that front knee a very tiny bit. Back heel planted in the ground. Once you are stable and steady, you can push that front knee forward a very tiny bit, trying to keep that back toe pointed straight forward as well. Take a nice big breath. And relax. Come off that side. Very nice. Let's go ahead and just do a little bit of an ankle roll here. We kind of hammered our ankles a lot today, so just a nice gentle movement stretch here, kind of cool down that area. Very nice. Let's repeat on the other side. All right. So next one, 2 variations. The kind of, I should say, easier variation, if you can get into it, is our quad stretch. So we're going to try to grab behind our leg and then bring it up very tiny bit. If that's too tough for you though, just kind of bring your knee onto your chair like this. So you're just basically kneeling on your chair, leaning into it. And that'll still stretch kind of the same area. It's going to be stretching our hip flexor and your quad a little bit. If you can just focus on trying to bring your heel kind of up towards your butt, that's really, really going to get a good stretch. Either variation you're at though, no problem. No problem at all. We're just holding for a little tiny bit. Good. Go ahead and repeat on the other side. So again, ideally, grabbing the back of that leg, pulling it up towards your butt. Otherwise, if you need to, you just can kind of kneel on your chair like so. And just being in this gentle position is actually going to stretch you in a very, very tiny bit. Very, very tiny bit. Good. Go ahead and relax. Very nice. Last one we'll do here is a tricep stretch. So we'll take one arm, bring it across our body, and then we're going to pull our arm a little bit closer just to work our upper body. Didn't use our upper body too much. We did a little bit. I think this feels very nice. Go ahead and repeat on the other side. Arm forward, then across, gently pulling it up towards your chest. All right, shake out your shoulders. We're all finished for the day. Excellent work, everyone. Thank you all for coming. Way to push yourself. I could tell on your faces you all did.